What's up, everybody? I am super excited because I am here with Mark Ostash. Mark, what's up, man? Why don't you tell the people who you are and a little bit about what you do?
Anthony, it's so good to be here with you. My name is Mark Ostash. I'm a keynote speaker and author in the health and wellness space, and I do 200 keynotes a year, and a lot of that work requires video, and I'm so thankful to have Anthony and his team in my corner. And good to be here today, Anthony.
Awesome. I am super excited to have you here, like I said. But I want to start off by talking about what were the challenges you were having before you were working with AnthonyB Media?
So one of the things, like many other people who are in kind of this event-based industry, is I found myself being asked to speak at health and wellness conferences. And the first question that people would ask if they hadn't seen me before is, do you have a video of your speaking work? And at the time I had some iPhone footage, I had some other kind of like maybe grassroots content that I could share, but I wasn't proud of. So I worked with Anthony and his team to help create both a sizzle reel and some highlights specific keynotes that I give around fostering connection and wellness at work, at working with mental health and creating the cultures of connection and belonging. And these topics were on the forefront of many executives and leaders that were hiring me to come speak at their events, that I needed succinct videos that articulated both my why and my approach from the stage and just kind of the audience's responses. So that was the biggest challenge I faced.
Awesome. Super happy to help you with that. So I also want to ask you, like, why did you choose to work with us instead of others that you possibly could have worked with?
Yeah, choosing to work with Anthony and his team was kind of a no-brainer. I had interviewed 3 or 4 video professionals, some smaller boutique agencies, and I really just connected with Anthony on a person-to-person level. I felt like his values connected with my values, and we had, you could just tell we were cut from a similar cloth. So once that kind of personality fit, that cultural fit hit, I also knew that his output, the videos that I was seeking, and the level of professionalism, and you know what, any good video, you capture the emotion as well as the story. So I could see from his work that he had kind of that it factor that I needed for my business. So once we were a fit kind of personality and value-wise, the rest was kind of a no-brainer. So that's why I chose to work with Anthony and his team.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. So let's get into what we actually worked on together in detail, if you don't mind talking about it in detail.
Yeah, so there are a variety of different ways that I used Anthony and his team, all primarily in the space of video content creation. The beautiful thing is that we started with just a couple events where he actually flew with me and set up all of his gear, and even had like drone footage capturing the outside of the event and the venue, and then kind of the the moving camera and the still camera. So there's a lot of for me, there's a lot of exposure to the variety of ways that video could be captured in a single event. That quickly led to him tagging along on a few other conferences where I was showing off some new work that I wanted to get video content for. But what was best is that video content that he captured, he also was able to create small little bite-sized social media shares that allowed me to then take that 45-minute keynote down to 3 one-minute moments that gave people a taste of who I was and what I spoke about in social media, which was super helpful for me because, as you know, the attention span for audience members is diminishing, so you need to capture good content in a limited amount of time, and Anthony did that for me.
So that's what we worked on. Can you talk a little bit about like how the process was from sort of discovery into like fulfilling it, or, you know, the production?
Yeah, it was great because there were 2 additional projects that we worked on. One of them was I had hired Anthony to basically handle my social media with an emphasis on video content. So he came over, we set up kind of like a studio at my offices, and we captured some great footage, basically a day's worth of content. And he turned that into like 2 months worth of small bite-sized videos. But before we did that, we went through a discovery period where he said, hey, who are some of the other content creators that you feel like you want your video and your brand to be about? which was great because I knew he was studying both in my industry and some aspirational brands that I desired to become more like. And that discovery work anchored us in kind of more of an approach on how he was directing some of my content that allowed me to still be me, but he was kind of pulling out of me what I feel like was going to separate me from the rest, and in turn give him the footage he needed to create 2 months worth of content. So that process it was really organic. I felt like I didn't need to be the video person. He was the video person. His team were the experts, and I just got to do me, which is share my stories and expertise on health and wellness to the camera. So it was awesome.
Those fun times. I love going down the path, the walking path, and getting those outdoor shots.
Yeah, well, that was both indoor and outdoor. So it was like B-roll in places and spaces that I think drew me to, there's nothing beats the natural sunlight. And we had a few footage where I was trying to teach on wellness and health best practices and stress reduction. And we were doing it like on foot patrol in the woods, walking these beautiful trails. So, man, I remember that like it was yesterday. It was a few years ago, if you can believe that.
Wow, that was a few years ago. That's crazy, for real. Yep. Does feel like it was yesterday. So that's the process. Could you talk about a little bit about the results you're getting and the quality, like if it's hitting the mark for you and all that?
Yeah. So one of the things that people say to me often is, who does your video work? And I know that that's a reflection of having hired the right person for what essentially is my digital brand. As we all know, video is king. It captures audience members more than a static image or text on the screen. So for me, those are the best references that the work that Anthony and his team has done for me are getting the mileage that I hope for. And more importantly, sometimes when you create a really good video, it's got a great shelf life. Like Anthony, I think some of the work we've done 2 or 3 years ago is still on the homepage of my website. It's still some of the most viewed videos that I've had in my YouTube channel. So I really think that that speaks to the production quality as well as the ability to depict what I'd like to consider maybe timeless talks or timeless parts of the brand that I hope people can view for years to come. So the results speak for themselves, and I'm getting hired more, which is great. So a lot of health and wellness conferences are bringing me on to talk about digital wellness, fostering connection and mental health and belonging in the workplace. And it's been awesome. So thank you and your team.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a little bit what I wanted to touch on next is the impact. Like, so you're getting hired more. Can you put that into some sort of like value?
Yeah, well, I'd say like for starters, just from sheer impressions on my speaker highlight video, which is where I invested most of our time and energy on the forefront, that's had thousands of views. I remember before we worked together, one of the other kind of iterations of that video had like maybe a few dozen views for 3 years. So now I found myself getting more traction both on the impression side and most importantly, my event schedule is booking up. And my biggest sales strategy for me is to use video as a vehicle to warm up my prospects before I have the opportunity to speak to people over Zoom or Teams or physical phone calls. And I say, hey, did you watch that video? And those things are yielding results for me not to have to worry about, am I inspiring and offering my clients and prospects with what I can do? I already know that's possible through those videos. Now it's just a matter of, am I available that date? And will my flight schedules allow me to be across the country sometimes and get back at home in Detroit with my family?
And you're traveling right now, right? You're actually at a hotel recording right now.
I'm at a health and wellness conference in Wisconsin at the Wisconsin Wellness Council of Wellbeing's Champions, and it's been great. 300 people from the healthcare professional spaces that are interested in bringing mental health and integrative health into their workplaces. It's been an awesome conference. And guess what? They've seen my videos. And I don't know if you remember this, but we created that one video about like turn down techniques, which are stress reduction ways to lower the value when we're overwhelmed as busy workers and executives. And man, people love that video because it captures like both. You remember those things? We did the dance party with the kids.
Those are some of my favorites.
So yeah, just a lot of fun. So I can't say enough good things about working with you and your team. And for anybody who is on the fence of working with you, I'd say get off the fence and test Anthony out, for 3 months or 6 months. And I promise you, you'll have the results you're after. But most importantly, you'll probably have a new expert friend in your corner that you can call on for both your video needs and whatever digitally savvy things that you don't have the skill set for. Anthony probably has. So
Awesome. Literally was going to be my last question. So
yeah,
thank you so much. I appreciate you, Mark. It's always fun when we get together, man. So yeah, I'll talk to you later, man. Appreciate you.
thanks, Anthony. Talk to you soon.
Thank you guys so much for watching that testimonial with Mark Ostash. If you are a business owner or a high-level decision maker in your business and you would like to see similar results, please click the link below to schedule a call with me and see if we're a good fit to work together.